पढ़ोगे लिखोगे बनोगे नवाब, खेलोगे कूदोगे बनोगे खराब. My mom used to say that to me when I was in school. अब वो चीज़ चेंज हो गई है, बातें भी चेंज हो गई हैं. Now colleges, schools, you do that, and they have a very different professional for that. They call them career counselors. Hi, I'm Kanish Pandey, and I welcome you all to the edCafe, the place that aspires to be the home for the never seen before technology and a lot of wisdom. We bring in people every week. We bring in leaders from education industry every week to you, who share their experiences, their struggles, their achievements, and that is what edCafe is all about. Today, our very special guest is Mr. Shailendra Soni. He is a career counselor. He is the director admissions for HRIT Group. And he has so much experience. He's so many things that we would have to go to him to talk about him more. So, over to you, Mr. Soni. Please tell us about yourself.
Thank you so much, and I'm happy being here on this lovely Saturday and meeting you guys. Yeah, and so currently I'm engaged with a group of institutions as I look after the admissions part, and I also look after the placements part in this college. And at the same time, I also look after the digital outreach of this college in the media, and I'm also sometimes helping management in various plannings as and when they seek my help in this. So this is my current engagement for about almost quarter to 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, and prior to this, I've been into education space with different companies, and I will only take the name of those companies in the reverse order. So I've been with the Career Launcher, which is a prime name in competitive examination preparations. So, and I was there for about a year or so. And before that, I have worked with a company called Talent Edge.
Okay.
Yeah, the Talent Edge is into professional degree courses and management courses with the top-notch names in India.
All right.
And then I've also worked with Pearson Global Education. So with Pearson, I've been into test prep business. Yeah. So I was looking after certain zones in India.
All right.
And that has given me a good understanding as to how students prepare and what kind of exams they are more keen to go for, which can help them to go to government jobs. Yeah. And before that, I worked with NIIT Limited. NIIT is India's prime name in computer education, and I was the channel head and franchise manager for them. And prior to that, I've worked with Vodafone, I worked with TCS, I have worked with Tata Press Limited. These are some of the names that I've worked with. So I was fortunate to be among these bright names. I got some excellent insights of management way of working, planning, thinking, and executing, meeting targets, presentations, day in and day out, traveling in the length and breadth of the country. And today, finally, I'm into a group of institutions where I'm seeing the students who are into higher education space. So after 12th, majority of them look forward to certain career. So I look after the admissions part and placement part that I just explained. Yeah. This is about my journey in the last couple of years.
That's a vivid journey, Mr. Soni. So, like you just said, you've worked with Vodafone, you've worked with Tatas and all. Your early years have been a very corporate sales kind of profiles.
Yeah.
Why did you, and what motivated you to take the plunge to education space?
Right. See, I started my journey with a company called Gestetner. It was a German company. It was a German brand. They were into office paper production in terms of photocopiers, in terms of telecom equipments. You know, after my MBA, it was a campus selection. So there I did some government sales primarily, and after that I got through in Tata Press Limited. They were into publications. That was again, you know, I mean, we were doing the publication business. and it was more like a direct sales. So I had exposure of government sales, and then I had got exposure of the direct sales. But direct sales was also being one of the performers in that company. I used to, rather than going for small ads, I started going for big ads. So by design, it became a corporate sales, because big ads were coming only from big business houses. Yeah. And from there, I moved on to Vodafone. Then I was posted in Chandigarh. That used to be known as Hutchison Max.
Wow.
In those days, yeah. So there it was something new in India, and people had not experienced what is telecom all about.
Yeah.
I mean, people were not aware of that there can be a device which can help you send a message remotely.
Yeah.
There can be a device through which you can make a call and somebody can talk to you. So it used to be only maybe people used to watch it in movies and all that. So being in that industry, there again we had to make a lot of channels. Then we had to do a lot of testing, because I was engaged in majority of my companies from the very inception stage. So there I spent about 4 years. And then I got an opportunity to work with Tata Infotech, which later on was part of the TCS. And there it was, again, computer education.
Okay.
So in that space, from there my education journey started actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So there we were teaching computer related, all IT related courses. And in that segment, I also had the opportunity to visit certain places out of India, because we were doing some international business also. I was looking after Latin American part of that business. So there I went to certain universities in Colombia, and then we understood that there is a huge gap within Indian space and outside.
Yeah.
And within India itself, the computer education was very costly. So that's how, Tatas wanted to have a franchisee almost everywhere, so that people in the smallest of the area part of the country should also have the access to computer education, because we were actually growing in terms of IT literacy all over India. And because of that IT literacy, we were also growing globally in terms of being known as people with a lot of IT literate people. Yeah. So that was a great experience, but it was into education. So from there I moved on to NIIT Limited. So NIIT was again one of the pioneers in India, yeah, and one of the largest space in India. And being at NIIT, I had the chance to sign on new partners. I was the channel head, and then I also looked after the operations part. It was in North India and certain other places. So again, that's an education. I was there, yeah, for about 6 years. I had one of the best times in that company. From there I moved on to Pearson Global Education, test prep business, and from there to Career Launcher and Talentage. And today, so why I'm here now is probably that I wanted to, this was the space that was left for me.
Yeah.
The college education. So I had the exposure of the professional education, management education, and higher education, especially after your graduation.
Yeah.
But this space was left after after 12th what. So I thought, let me understand this space as well. So when I was thinking, I got this opportunity. So now it's been about 2 years that I've seen, and in HRIT group of institutions, we have courses in engineering, we have BTech, we have MTech, we have diploma engineering, then we have DPharm, BPharm, MPharm, we have BCom, BCA, MCA, MBA, LLB. These are the courses we have. And after meeting hundreds of students and parents in the last about 2 years, I have understood that there is a huge gap in terms of what students want to do vis-a-vis what students end up doing. Yeah. So I'm enjoying that space right now, and I'm trying to contribute whatever I know in my college with the students, with the parents, and today I'm sharing the same thing here.
It's a beautiful thing, because in a way you were not the part of the pedagogy, but then again you saw it happening from 36,000 feet. Correct. So now you know what exactly what all things have taken place so far in so many years.
Correct.
And now you are able to use that experience to actually bring some change. Correct. So that's a good thing. You deal with a lot of professional professional education, if we call it in a broad sense,
right?
You deal with students, you deal directly with students. How do you feel that technology has the changes in education technology in past years has made it easier or difficult for the students to actually get that education or get those degrees, and how it exactly has helped the students? And in a way, I just wanted to know what exactly all the things you're doing to making sure that the students are sensitized towards the upgrading technology, which is by the way has been a very big makeshift in the past 2 years.
Right, yeah. See, technology is the way of life now.
Yeah.
And without technology, I do not think that there's any area of our living space is untouched. I mean, look at your health, look at your beauty, look at your sports, look at your education, even puja. That is also now these days available through technology. Right, sitting in your home in Delhi, you can actually see Tirupati Balaji mein kaisi puja ho rahi hai. I'm sorry, So what is happening real time you can see. They offer you that real time puja darshan.
Yeah.
Today, if you go to certain channel on TV, you can actually see the real time Mata Vaishno Devi darshan in the evening.
Yeah.
That is only because of technology. So if technology can help in puja, technology can help in a lot of other spaces, I think education should have been the first one to be touched by technology. And if you see those certain spaces, for example, Government of India a long time back started VSAT based classes.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're aware that there are free channels. If you tune into your TV, there are free channels still broadcasted by Government of India, and those are not watched by students or parents in the cities, but in the areas, rural belt, where they still have those access, they still can learn.
DD Gyan Darshan.
DD Gyan Darshan.
Yeah.
So the DD Gyan Darshan is a live example of your question that you asked. If DD Gyan Darshan was not there, and sometime back you must have seen one of the advertisements by Idea.
Yeah.
I mean.
I remember now.
In a village, under a tree, there are a lot of students, and then they have a mobile which is hanging because the signal doesn't come on the ground. It comes only when it is 10 feet above, and then the students are able to hear what some teacher is speaking from somewhere. So I think these are examples. These are raw examples of technology. But if you look at the better side of the examples of the technology, today in the last 2 years we had COVID, and what happened in COVID we have all seen.
Yeah.
The schools were closed, offices were closed. Even the children who were into very early classes, like nursery, KG, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. I'm sure you must have seen in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Maybe if you have a child in your own family, that they also had online classes.
Yeah.
So technology did not make those students stay away from education.
Yeah.
So technology like mobile is a technology, your TV is a technology, your Zoom as integration is a technology. If you go to some better colleges, they have touch boards, smart boards now.
Yeah.
A teacher can write, and you can just pinch Zoom, and the same thing can be seen by a student sitting, on the last bench of the class. You can share instant notes through technology.
Yeah.
You can, a teacher can teach real time on a digital pad, and he can encircle a place. The same thing is visible on the board. That was not possible 5 years back, 10 years back, because we were being taught when I did my MBA and etc. So we were being taught through markers on the soft whiteboard. And prior to that, in my early years, we were taught on a green color or black color board, where teacher was using the chalk.
Yeah.
Maybe. So we have moved from chalkboards to the whiteboards, from whiteboards to smart boards.
Smart boards.
And from smart boards, we have moved on to a virtual world now.
Virtual world.
Where my child is not going to school, and he still has this school in his pocket, right? So I think with that integration of technology by private players, by government agencies, by government portals, by private edtech companies, I think everybody has contributed. So we should be largely thankful to everyone. And your company is one of the edtech company.
Thank you for that.
I mean, why not you as well? So I compliment you as well. So my understanding is that, technology should be used more often to see how we can benefit students. I mean, 5 years back, if I was in a class, if I missed my class, I had no way to go to my teacher. Sir, will you please tell me again, what did you teach? But today it's not required, but everything is recorded. Teacher will say, oh, you missed your class, no problems. I'll give you the access of the recorded class. Go to YouTube. I have posted it as unlisted video.
Yeah.
The moment you are done, tell me, I'll remove it. That's technology.
That is.
Today I can create a video and put it in the YouTube. For example, you said I'm into career space. Let's say I want to train students free of cost how to clear an interview of a job. I can just make a video and put it in YouTube and share the link with everyone who is looking forward to learn something about how to clear an interview. It's happening because of technology. So I think technology is helping our life become easier. It is helping us become more learnable, coachable, teachable. I mean, that's what is my final submission, that technology should be used as much as possible in the education space.
That's a good thing coming from you. Being technology pro is something that we need from all the educators, not from a business point of view, but from the perspective that education is growing one way or the other. And you're right, if there was no DD Gyan Darshan back then, the students in backward areas where there was no mobile, there was no internet back then, there was no internet back 20 years back in urban areas itself, let alone the rural areas. There, wahan pe DD Gyan Darshan made some change, right? It had an impact. It was broadcasted on televisions. People used to had a ready access to that, and a lot of informations have been broadcasted. Of course, technology has been a pioneer throughout. You deal with students directly. You talk to them on daily basis, probably. Just before a few minutes back, you talked about the gap between what student wants to do and what he eventually chooses to do. You talked about that. As my last question or appeal or just a statement, I would want you to talk to our students in the audience, the youth in the audience, and just give them some advice on those lines. Just an advice as to what they can do, how they can do it.
So in our life, if we do what we want to do, we will do better than what we do not want to do, For example, in my childhood, I wanted to become an engineer, and if I was supported rightly for everything to become an engineer, my life would have been different. I mean, this is an example I'm giving. Similarly, if a child wants to, let's say he sings very well, and child wants to become a singer, he wants to become a pro singer. So can we create an ecosystem where a child has entire access to become a professional singer? He has the learning opportunity, he has the grooming opportunity, he has the practicing opportunity, and then he has the opportunity to get placed either as an employee or maybe as an entrepreneur. If this is the way available for each of the living person, the life will be much more beautiful. Now, how does it happen? Today, there are technology access available with the intervention of AI, where you can probably have a psychometric test, or there are other technologies where you can map at a very early stage of the child what child really wants to do. There is a technology wherein they use only your fingerprints. I'm sure you must be aware. Only with the fingerprints they can predict your your interest areas, what you want to do, maybe what you will end up doing. Then there are technologies like, for example, psychometric tests, where there are a set of questions,
yeah.
And with that set of questions, they are able to understand where is your hobby and where is your interest. And with that set of questions, they will be able to come out with a pattern. And if you analyze that pattern, you can actually understand my son or daughter is probably good in these areas. I need to give probably more weightage in these areas.
Yeah.
So I think if we do it in a very early stage in these schools, that is going to make a lot of change in the entire professional world, because then we will have right people doing right engineering courses. We will have right people learning music. We will have right people playing sports. We will have right people getting into agricultural business. We will have right people becoming lawyers. We will have right people getting into writing, for example. I have a hobby of writing. I want to become a writer.
Yeah.
So if I have a flair of writing, and I'm not getting any access or revenues of learning how to become a pro writer, I mean, I'm going to kill my interest area.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'll end up taking a job where I will not do justice. So it's actually bad of both the world rather than best of both the world.
Yeah.
So can we create a system where a person has best of both the world? And that is through test,
assessment,
technology, and integration of all these things.
Guest who is an accomplished writer, and he also talked about this thing where he said that he wants to impart the art of writing to early years of the student life cycle, into the early years of student life cycle. He was trying to get it through summer camps, and he is opening his own writing school now, and trying to get there. So a lot of people are doing that, the vocational things, and you're right, the thing that you said, where everything has to be in place, the whole life cycle has to be in the place to get that professional aptitude developed, right? He has from the very point of inception to nurturing to the final placement, everything has to be in place. I believe we have most of it taken care of today, and the rest that is left, I believe the educators like yourself are doing, leaving no stone unturned to get that done. With that, I thank you very much for joining us here, sharing your experiences. We wish you all the best in your expedition to get technology out there, and we just hope that you evangelize this technology, use of technology, to every educator that you meet, and we would be talking to you a lot more down the line. That was all, guys. We are gonna come up with another guest next week with new experiences, with new things, with new ideas. Till then, stay tuned with us. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.